up, guys? Today I'm going to be working on some new spells and fixing some bugs, making some improvements to existing mechanics. So I think I'm probably going to start off with building the Earth Shockwave spell. Oh, there we go. Cool. And I think the way I'm going to do that is having a look at how I did it before, because I recreated it in my XNA project many years ago. We just have to convert it into 3D, maybe make a quick 3D model and texture it to make it look like Earth Shockwave. Yeah, and go from there. So hopefully it sounds okay. I have turned down the music. We shall see how that goes. So yeah, I'm going to actually dive into my really old code. Back like 15 years ago now. Hello, Max. I think you forgot to hide your name there again. Okay. So this is the code I wrote a long time ago using C# and XNA. I rewrote the entire client and server from scratch. And I actually referenced this to get the Blizzard effect as well. So we're going to have a look at that. I think it's an iGame effect. And look at this, copying the bad habits from the original code. Yeah, that's great. Enlarged smoke. Welcome to the channel. Sorry, I'm just eating a Kinder Bueno. Not sponsored or anything. I'm just eating ones I like them. So let's start somewhere. OBS flitting out there, very nice. Oh, here we go. Earth shock. Oh yeah, sorry, I'm eating a generic chocolate snack. My bad. I have to do what they do on TV where they open the wrapper backwards so you can't actually see the front of it. Oh, and this one. Generic brand cola. So the way these effects worked previously, it was all sprites, all 2D. Max, he's moderating to make sure people don't play up or say dodgy things. It's funny because I was talking to my daughter earlier, and she's like, "Oh, you should." I was showing her the stream because she'd never seen all the stuff that I'm doing, and she was like, "Oh, you should add buy me a coffee or text to speech." I was like, "Text to speech? No, the first thing that will happen if I enable text to speech." You get people saying all sorts. You are ginger. You are ginger. That is a factual statement. I think it's probably worth showing a few things that we did over the past week before we dive into this code. I've revamped the alchemy screen. It used to be A on the keyboard, it's now Q on the keyboard, and we now have this new crafting menu. The idea is that because there's going to be, I mean, the original game had quite a few skills, and what you'd have to do is carry around an anvil in your bag, which is just hilarious, or like an alchemy basket or whatever they called it. Now I wanted to centralize all of the different non-combat or crafting skills into a single sort of book. I mean, it looks similar to the spell book. It's a book where you have like an index on the left, the recipe on the right. If you played Valheim, it's very similar. In fact, I've completely ripped Valheim off. This is just Valheim. You have the list there, and then you got the ingredients down here. But the crafting menu will not be always available. So, for example, if what I'm planning to do is, in order to perform alchemy, you need to be near an alchemy bench. Fletching, I might. Oh, cheers! I should really turn that off. Yeah, Nakey. I did Helrift Rebirth, and then I did Helrift World after that. Yep, that's me, Vamp. But anyway, so things like smelting. Smelting is not really a skill in Hellbreath, but it's a crafting operation that you need to perform, and you can eventually only be able to do it when you're near a furnace. Same with the manufacturing. You have to be near an anvil to perform it. At the moment, it's all open because I've not really implemented that functionality yet. But what I'm thinking is that you have certain levels of manufacturing, and then a high level manufacturing, you might have to go to a more contested area of the map, like a level 2 anvil or master forge or something like that, and only then can you perform certain manufacturing blueprints. Yeah, I mean, I loved Rebirth. Helrift World took it to another level. I did all of the features in Helrift World. All of those are coming into this project as well. You met your wife. I'm glad that I could be matchmaker for you. So yeah, at the moment we've got alchemy, we've got fletching, which is really only introduced. I mean, you could put this under the manufacturing label, but I wanted to introduce a new skill that is more attuned to the fact that we've got archers as a primary class now. Yeah, if you played Helrift World, we had quite a strong archer class there as well. So with the fletching, I'm trying to build a category dedicated for archers. So we've got things like crafting bows and various arrow types. Ignore the fact that this just looks like logs, but we have things like wood arrows, which are like your basic arrows. All you have to do is chop a tree. So if I go over here, I can grab an axe, find a tree. Should I've not got any sound. Got no sound for some reason. But yeah, we chop a tree, we get logs, and we can craft wooden arrows. and then so you want to have an affair by playing Helrift. I'm sure I can arrange that for you. And yeah, as you progress through the game, you get access to more materials. So pretty standard for any kind of RPG. Get some iron, add it to the logs. You got iron arrows. They do a bit more damage. We have smelting, which is to do with creating mineral or converting the minerals into bars. I don't know how I can expand this much further, apart from the bars, and maybe introduce rings and necklaces at some point, possibly. I feel like that in real life it's not really called smelting for that. I think it's called something else, but maybe that's a good category for that, for necklaces and rings. Manufacturing, I've brought in. I was considering woodworking, but I felt like adding another skill was really unnecessary, and we can just fit it all under the manufacturing category. So new items like tools, your fishing rods, and other woodworking things like staves, wooden staves, and torches would be under manufacturing as well. So we've got wooden things, we've got metal things like your swords and your shields and your armors, etc. later on. And all of these will be unlockable. You'd have to find the blueprints for them to be available in this menu. Lastly, this one's completely empty. I was actually going to hide this. I just forgot to hide it. It's carpentry, and carpentry is slightly different to manufacturing in that eventually I want to have guild housing in, and with guild housing, it will unlock a whole new tree and category of items that you can craft to furnish those guild houses. So that's what that's there for as a placeholder. It's something that I intend to do, but it's not an early access mechanic or anything. It'll be hidden once we release on Steam very soon. So yeah, very simple. You collect the items. It keeps track of it. So for example, if I drop all my wood, and it's not wood. If I drop all my briar flowers, it will grey them out, and it will give you an idea of what you can craft at any one time and what you're lacking in. So you can see there it's gone red because I need 2 of those flowers. Actually, some of these aren't briar flowers, that's why. It's just I need to do the images and things for them. But yeah, so another reason why I'm introducing pretty much all items into the crafting ability within the game is that the economy is going to be driven by the players. So you can't buy arrows from the shop. Another player would have to create them and then sell them to the shop, and then they'll be available in the shop. This is a gold sink as well, because the shop is still maintained by the server, but the shop will buy the items for half the price, and that's a good item. You met your wife's boyfriend on HB Rebirth. Very progressive of you. So the shop will buy the items for half of their value and sell them for around their value. That way there's a gold sink, so between the selling and the buying. There's also going to be taxes on that, which will be hidden, which is to do with another mechanic I'll be adding in the future, which is a bit of a secret at the moment. I've got a big idea about it, but it's to do with being more integrated within your chosen city, and yes, sort of a role-playing mechanic, but also it affects large-scale battles like the Crusades and stuff. So yeah, that's crafting. As you can see, there's not a lot of items currently listed, but eventually they'll all get added in there. I just need to come up with all the recipes really, and the ability to actually gather those items. Like briar flowers, for example, they are available on the map, so I can just go over there, pick up, and it will just go and grab one. Those respawn on a timer. Ignore that jittery thing. I'm currently redoing the movement mechanic. Yeah, those will respawn after a certain amount of time. I haven't really decided on the respawn timer. But yeah, similar to the tree, as you can see, the tree that I chopped down earlier has respawned here. We've also got things like the body part, the monster body parts. Slime jellies we already have because we have slime in the game. So we can just kill slimes. We do have ants in the game, but I need to sort out the image there for ant legs. Things like silverleaf, again, ignore the jitter. There's things like silverleaf. These they're going to be very particular in where these things grow. So players will be forced to, a bit like hunting the same monster over and over again. There's certain crops or trees that will grow in certain areas. The higher level tree or the higher level gatherable, crops and things, they will be in contested areas where the idea is that it will help PvP converge on those areas, because PvP is essentially still the core gameplay loop, and to ensure that PvP is still going with all these PvE mechanics in is quite an important thing, I think. Yeah, watch out for the blob. They're not very strong. Yep, last week on the stream we did enemy attributes, so you can see there we got things. Slime in this case, they are spawning with Berserk. They also spawn with other things as well sometimes, like Clairvoyant, anti-magic, anti-physical. Yeah, I'm currently in the process of changing the way that characters move around the map, because I wanted to introduce some new ways of exploring. I haven't decided on how that's going to fully work yet, but that's the reason why we get some jitter like this. Sometimes it's going to do it. There we go, jitter. Yeah. But for what we're doing today, it's not important. Yeah, I added damage numbers. Well, damage numbers are already in there. What they didn't have in there before was a miss. So if you miss your attack in the original game, it never used to say miss. Nothing used to happen. It wasn't very responsive. We also have immune now as well, which we added in last week's stream, or the week before last was our last stream. And immune is great. It means we can actually specify what they're immune against amongst all the damage types. So fire, water, air, earth for sort of elemental magic. Then we've got physical and range as two separate damage types. And it's great for things like a neutral, like McGuffin, City Hall officer, shopkeeper, which shouldn't be killable, obviously. Previously what I did was I set their HP really, really high and their regens really, really high. Technically they could still die if you got enough players together to just constantly just keep hitting them, dotting them, dropping blizzards, nukes on them. So yeah, this is a much more solid way to prevent NPCs from dying. Another thing that we did in the past couple of weeks was the repair ability. So we can either drag items on to repair them like this, or we can click auto and it's going to just give me all of the items that have less than 100% endurance, and I can just repair them all straight away like that. Very, very simple, very, very effective. The repair costs are depending on its value. So an item's value is in the bottom left hand corner, and that value is determined by the stats as well. So you can see here I've got a wooden shield down here that has plus 4% PA at 230 value, and then this one up here has two stats. We've got some PR on there, and we've also got some earth absorption, so the value's higher. And therefore, if both of those were 0 endurance and I repaired them both, the cost on this one will be higher because the value's higher. And this value scales exponentially, really. I mean, if you have, I don't know, a Templar sword which was ancient or legendary and had like 5 additional stats, you would see that value go into the hundreds of thousands, possibly millions, and half of that would be the repair cost. So it's a strategic thing for the player to use these items and use them wisely. Don't hit someone with an activated Mirian plate and break your weapon that costs you 1 million gold to repair, you know. But it's sort of the counter to hoarding gold, which is a big problem in Helrift private servers, people just have too much gold and the value becomes meaningless. So yeah, there'll be plenty of gold sinks in the game. And finally, I might as well just show, if I just go to everything's city. Oh, I fixed that issue with the lighting as well. I don't have that was bugging me for the longest time, and I've now got it working. So what we did, we added the hero shop. It looks slightly different to a normal shop, but essentially works the same. We can click on these items and buy them. It's not very responsive at the moment. So for example, if I don't have enough EKs, it won't show them red or anything. But I'll do some improvements later. We've got this new icon for hero, anything related to hero. So if I go over to my stats here, it's also used for enemy kills. This is the wings that are on the side of the helmet and also on the front of the male chest plate. So it's just an icon to denote anything to do with EKs or hero. So we'll start seeing that a lot more. Implement 50% income tax on all gold earned. Yeah, I mean, we can. It would be like the UK, I guess. But no, in all seriousness, we are going to be having tax on sales and purchases. Not to. It's not going to be an overcomplicated mechanic. Really, it's just about each city will have a treasury. Let me just give you a bit of insight into what I'm thinking. Each city will have a treasury, which will be you'll be able to see it somewhere in here. There might be like a desk, a treasury desk, and you can see how much is in the treasury each week. And that, depending on the treasury amount, by the time the big events, the town versus town events comes around, you'll get certain buffs. That, say for example, the Crusade. In the Crusade, you have the Grand Magic Generator, and then you have the shields around all the buildings. Those shields have, I can't remember, it's 4 or 5 hit points each, and the players have to come in and destroy them from the enemy town. Now, what we could do is say if a city has accumulated 5 million gold in the treasury over the past week, those shields get an extra 1 HP each, something like that. It's a mechanic to get people engaged with their chosen city, and they could also contribute to the city as well. If you're a wealthy individual, you could put money into the treasury to help your city win the next crusade because you get that little bit of an edge. And we can have things like titles and Steam achievements related to this, like you're a great donator to your local MP, the city hall guy. Not paying taxes would carry a 30% chance of having your character not display the model for arms and legs, and you'll be locked into a custom map for 400 years. Is this the North Korea thing? What custom map? Jail? I mean, Helrift did have a jail. See, that's my thinking around taxes and city treasury, and having a bit of role playing to go along with your the fact that you've chosen a city to play with. But an extension to that is the ability to actually manage where the money is spent as well. One thing I'm thinking is that there could be something like elections, not an individual election, but maybe for a particular guild to manage the town's finances or the city's finances or something. And it's just the guild masters would have the ability to move some sliders to say where we distribute that wealth to, you know. Yeah, well, we had, when we did Helrift World, maybe in Rebirth, but definitely in World, we had titles, and I stole the idea from Guild Wars, the original Guild Wars that I was playing at the time, where when you could choose which title you could show under your character. So if I hovered here, you could see the title like you're a level 5 giant slayer because you killed so many mountain giants or something. But there was all sorts PvP related, PvE related. That will eventually go back in, but obviously with most of the mechanics not being fully fleshed out yet, there's no tangible way to earn those title points. I liked with Guild Wars they had some comedy ones like that. I think I can't remember which title it was actually, but it's like my bookcase smells of mahogany or something like that, and it was a title to show that you were very wealthy. Yeah, they'll go in. I mean, if you're a philanthropist, and you give a lot of money to your city hall officer for the treasury, you could have a title under there to show how how do I say it? How virtuous you are. But really, there is a real life twist to it, really, because what you could do as a wealthy guild is collectively give a lot of money to your city so that you get a lot of buffs during the next crusade or a lot of buffs during the next Heldenian. That could work actually. The virtuous. You could have like a suffix title, civilian, the virtuous, because you've done done a lot of donations to the treasury. Yeah, I mean, yeah, there'll be loads of stuff, and I also want to tie it to achievements as well. I think having some engagement with Steam in that regard is good, especially for people like. I mean, when I play a game that I really like, I like to collect the achievements, like with Factorio, for example. Yeah. In WoW, within the character inventory, there's a drop down menu where you can select the titles earned. Yeah, that's what we had in Helrift World, and I actually copied that originally from Guild Wars. So you can have all these achievements that you gain through various mechanics, hunting, PvP, whatever, and you could choose which one is displayed under your character. But also, I think eventually there should be a way for you to inspect other players so you can see those achievements. I think that's important from a community standpoint to be able to see other players' achievements, especially in a game like Helrift where there's a lot of bragging rights involved. You could see, like at the moment, with enemy kills, we have a counter. Oh, it's more like a currency. If I spend those EK's points at the City Hall officer on hero armor, I lose them, but we will have an internal counter for that. So showing stuff like that is good. Things like crusade participation, how many crusades your characters won, all of that stuff, I think is brilliant for community engagement, and yeah. Also, it makes it more personable as well. Personable. Um, and a lot of what I'm trying to do with this game is give people a lot of options to personalize their characters, so that they don't just use them as a throwaway character. They use them as, this is my character. Look at all the achievements it's gotten over time, and show that off to the rest of the player base. Is still live. Is what live? What, Rebirth and Helrift World? No. this game isn't live. We're going up in Steam very, very soon for the open beta. Today, if you want to hang around, I'm just doing some development on it. I'm going to be doing some spells in a minute. This isn't a repeat broadcast. Don't listen to him. I'm very much live. I mean, you can tell by my clock. I didn't fake. Oh no, does that not show? Oh, I've got the blue bar over it. Yeah, it's 11 p.m. here. So what we're going to try and do, I think. All right, yeah. No, every Wednesday, I will never know how to pronounce your handle. PM Elbury. Yeah. So I'm just yeah. Well, actually, I missed last week, but every Wednesday I do a few hours just developing, and if people come in, they can say, oh, you know, they want to see something. I can show them how the game's operating at the moment. So yeah, or do like most people and just stay silent. I don't mind. Don't Google Translate it, I warned you. I really wish I didn't say it now. Anyway, let's get into this. I wanted to. Someone actually asked in one of the videos that I put up on Monday, are we putting in Earth Shockwave? And I've been meaning to get around to doing Earth Shockwave for quite a while, and I think now's a good time. I'm going into this completely blind. I'm just going to look at how it worked in the old game, bring in my code from my previous C# remake, which does all the calculations for where the shockwave disappears, and try and make something that looks half decent. I mean, when I did Blizzard took me a couple of days to perfect. So yeah, I might not be able to finish it today, but I can get it somewhat working. So if we jump over, I think, let me just check. Earth Shockwave, it's an Earth skill, isn't it? Yeah, okay, so let's start with the server side, because that's the easy bit. That's to get the Earth Shockwave working. So we need to jump over to our old code. So this is the old code from when I remade the game 15 years ago. So a lot of it is, I can translate it straight into my game because it's all C#. I'm a bit confused though, because if we look at something like Blizzard, where's Blizzard? Yeah, we have this. So we spawn the shards at certain positions. Back then it was cell based, so there was integers. We'll translate that to 3D, but I'm not seeing that for Earth Shockwave for some reason. Earthworm Strike, Earth Shockwave. We've got these two. What is that? Doesn't seem to be correct. Earth Shock. It seems like it's just opening or showing. Let's have a look at these sprites. I need my sprite editor. Update. So let's find. I don't even know where this is going to be. So these are the original sprites. So I can get an idea of how I want it to look. And also I want to have a look at the animation as well. Very nostalgic, these. Those are the... Yeah, someone said the other day that me- someone said the other day that this crit effect looked like fart. I guess he's right in a way. It kind of looks more like a dust cloud than like a fire ring. Hopefully this area will die at some point. Okay. Yeah, compared to that, that looks a bit more fiery. But anyway, let's carry on. It's Firefield. So here's Earth Shockwave. Is there any other ones? Fewer. I'm glad you corrected that. That winds me up. So I think this is Earth Shockwave as well. Yeah. So this is quite, I mean, it's just a rock, right? I don't even know what it's supposed to look like. Like mud, dirt coming out. I think maybe a rock's fine. That's just, and this is, oh, that's an earthquake, isn't it? The earthquake spell, possibly. Let me just double check there's no others. Those are just auras. Do we have a 13? We do have a 13, and that's the Heldinian Gate. Okay. Go back. So we essentially just need it to animate like this, which is quite easy, I think. I think this is going to be a 3D model with some sort of stony texture, maybe limestone or something like that, that just sort of comes out the ground. And maybe leaves a little trail or something like that. I'll get it looking okay, I think, but I'll probably go and search around for some free effects because I'm not very good with VFX. But at least it will visually show the Earth Shockwave. Now what I need to figure out is how I actually create the because it's a linear spell, so it's a bit like Blizzard. It sort of goes along a line and it goes up and down, up and down, up and down. But from here, it doesn't look like that's the case unless I never actually finished it. Because we have to get the positions of where those earth shocks come up out of the ground. So this is on update. We're changing the position of the sprite. That's just making it go. Oh wait, hold on. No, I mean that's correct. Yeah, it doesn't move from its position, does it? Doesn't seem right though. So we've got 30 frames, and it just removes it afterwards. Maybe I didn't finish it. We might have to go back to the OG code. Stealing assets. Let me tell you something. Everything is stolen. You pay an artist to do something, they've stolen the idea from somewhere else. What do they call that? There's a word for it. To get out of legal trouble. Can't remember. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go find the original code and get the position calculations. I don't fancy doing it myself, to be honest. I thought I had done it in my remake, but unfortunately I'm going to have to go back to the C++ code. So we probably want sources, client. Fair use. No, there's another, a derivative. It's like derivative, something like that. Could be effect.cpp. Nope. Try game. Game actually opened. Oh. Why can't I? Why is this all? Well, I think there's just so many lines. It's just crashed. Jesus. Oh, I actually found it using the browser search. Okay. Yeah, 196 Earth Shockwave. Okay. Ah, here we go. Get points. Yeah, so there is a what's explosion? There is a yeah, but hold on, that doesn't. Blizzard doesn't have positions though. Well, let's have a look at MISC. Oh wait, hold on. Put it open here. MISC. Get point. Yeah, this is correct. Count. Okay, so it takes an account of 40. So this is 40 points. Oh, is this pixels? Yeah, it's probably pixels for the original game, of course. So it's getting a point. Every frame, I guess. I thought Earth Shockwave and Blizzard were slightly different, but it doesn't seem to be the case. Although I can't see where Blizzard is getting the hit points. Let's have a look. 7 frames. Yeah, where does it get the point? It doesn't. A mass magic missile. Oh, what's 71 then? So 71's probably the shard. Yeah, I think that's the shard. Okay. So then 71 probably has a certain amount of frames. Oh, this is so... Yeah, because for each frame it's going to then load this point. Really not have any. Please hide the code. Alright, Paul. Has it really not got any? There must be a 71 here somewhere. Alright. So I wonder, let me just come back over to my code here. We're going to draw the Earth Shock. Does Earth Shock draw something else? That might be what I'm missing here. No. So 91 and 92 must be these. Which means this one probably is Earth Shockwave, which occurs on every frame. Hold on. Here we go. Get point. So so it works like Blizzard. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. So Blizzard, let's get point and Blizzard up here. Yeah, get point. So on the original code we use pixels. So it's every 50 pixels to display the shard. I mean, my code has translated this function into 3D. So I just don't know about this value here. If we I need to have a look at game utility.getPoint to see how that actually affects it. But let me jump over to my code and have a look at the function. I think it's under Magic Helper. Yeah, Magic. No, that's Strike. Line. So here's line. So yeah, oh, hold on. Hit index. It might be this because it's total number of hits, I think. So we could pass this in as a parameter. In fact, we could store that on the setting. Where's spell Blizzard? Yeah, I mean, because the linear config, we can actually specify how many it drops. That could be quite good for something like if you did have a Mass Blizzard spell, we could say Mass Blizzard is an upgraded version of Blizzard, which has a bigger range and drops, I don't know, 4 more shards. So that could be quite cool, actually. Yeah, let's do that, and then we can make a shockwave from that. So linear spell config, I believe. Yeah. So we can add a new value here. We'll give it tooltip number of segments spawn. Oh. It's an integer, isn't it? I think we shouldn't overcomplicate it. Number of segments. Just default that to 10, because that's what Blizzard uses. I believe it is 10. Let me just check. Blizzard. Oh, so it is 10. However, the first 2 points are ignored so that it doesn't hit the player. So we need to pass in 8 and add 2. So I need to make a slight change to that calculation. Unity is going to do some Unity things. There we go. So Blizzard, number of segments is actually 8, not 10. And Magic Kill Power gets an upgrade. Max range. Let's do int total segments. Maybe we could default it like that. Let's force it to come into this function. Yeah, so this needs to be total segments plus 2. So the reason, we ignore the first 2 potential hit locations in the calculation to avoid hitting the caster. Because the first 2, the AoE generally will hit the player. The problem with that is that it's expecting an AoE of 1 or 2, I think. So this might have to be handled by another variable coming in, but I don't think we have any spells that require us to do that at the moment. I think this is good for now. Yeah, shout out to all my Belgian supporters. Okay, calculate position on the line, fractal progress, we apply a zigzag. I assume that we do have a zigzag on. I never really thought about it. Oh, Shockwave, does it have a zigzag? I suppose it does because it uses the same function there. Current position, destination 50. Oh, this is important as well. So we have max frames of 8. And Blizzard has a max frames of 7. So that's what, 50 divides 7? Which is almost 8. So that makes sense, yeah. Because the way this works in the linear spells, as far as I can remember, I mean, again, this is 15 years ago, is that there's 7 frames that occur for this this effect, and each one of those frames is going to spawn each one of those frames is going to spawn a shard for Blizzard. Maybe that is wrong. Maybe it's 7, not 8. So for each frame out of 7 frames, because the frame speed 80 is how long the animation lasts. Yeah, it's all coming back to me. Yes, we get a point. That last value which we determined was what? Oh, we didn't determine it. We needed to look at it, didn't we? I thought that last value was to do with the... Like you divide the maximum frames by that number to get the value. I don't think that's actually the case, come to think of it. Where was it? Client? No, game classes, I think. Effects, and then we have game utility. There we go. Get point. So step is 1. So where are we using step? So step is... Oh, okay, yeah, so this is to do with the pixels, I think. Because through each iteration on each dimension, the step amount is how many pixels between each frame. In terms of at what point does that next Blizzard child spawn. Okay, we got that. So that's nothing to do with how many spawn. Blizzard, I've actually had wrong. I've put it on 8 when it's actually 7. I feel like we should go back and do it the same way as the OG. And the Earth Shockwave, of course, is going to be 8. So let's set this up. Earth Shockwave. We'll do that later. We've got, this is an Earth spell. I'm just going to look up the original stats. Magic. Just using this one here. Some of these are wrong. I don't know why I keep using them, but it's better than nothing. So Earth Shockwave is here somewhere, 96. Spell Circle is 10, that's correct. Base mana cost was 220. It's mana, isn't it? Yeah, 220. And then duration doesn't matter. Casting range 10. This is a new mechanic that we've got in Helrift, because you can zoom out. That there's a limit on how far you can cast a particular spell. We don't have an effect. We're probably going to want to add an effect, because in the original game, Earth Shockwave would reduce the target's stamina, so we might want to add that. Sorry, excuse me. Add that effect back in. Intelligence is okay. Yeah, this is where sometimes this can be wrong. These sources, because I'm pretty sure that's wrong. 215. You can't even go over 200. So stick with 200 for now. These damages are Earth and Earth damage. And then the dice rolls, what is that? Dice roll 519? That can't be right. Maybe they adjusted it for monsters. That's huge damage. That's huge. 7, 8, 18. Wow, it's a lot higher than Blizzard. Well, actually, I shouldn't really worry about that, right? Because we deal with it here. So the way I've been doing this is I just calculate the min-max values based on the original dice roll, because we're not using dice rolls in Magic anymore. We're using min-max values, and then there's like a plus minus 5% damage randomization, so that it's not fully consistent. But it ends up being, it calculates as a way more consistent than using dice rolls, which can have hugely varying min and max values. So we do 7, 8, 18. Sorry, 8 plus 18, 26, which is really high actually. Really high. And 7 times 8 plus 16. 72. Yeah, I think these these figures can't be right, to be honest. What's Blizzard? Yeah, it's a huge jump. Let's see how we had it in my old code. Client configs magic. Really trying to open with Edge. Mad. What did we have? Oh, we had 5, 2, 20, 7, 8, 16 was for large monsters, so that makes way more sense. So yeah, those numbers. What did I say the second number was? 72. It's actually higher than Blizzard. I think maybe we make it the same as Blizzard because it's only against monsters. But for the small damage... Oh, I've made a big mistake there. Lucky I spotted that. This is small damage, that's wrong. That's basically player damage. These are the wrong way around. This should be 72, 36, 13, 26. So for Earth Shockwave, 72, yeah, this is 72, this is 36, and then the damage, what did I calculate that at? 5, 2, 20, so that's what, 2, it's 25 to 30, 25 to 30. It's an odd roll, but that's how it works out, I think. Oh no, it's 1 dice, 5 dice, 2 faces, plus 20. 1 dice, so it's 22. So just to compare that with Blizzard at 1326, the damage is, yeah, that works out much better. So the difference in damage is 13 to 26 up to 22 to 30. And then we're going to leave the hunting monster damage as it was. Same as Blizzard. So you do significantly more damage to NPCs. Yeah, that works nicely. This stuff isn't actually used anymore. It's going to be deprecated at some point. It's just that there are some spells that I need to do the scaling on. Now, Earth Shockwave did have a range on it, I believe. I don't even know what the difference between spawn mode is. Oh yeah, I've got to do this. This is going to be number of segments, our new variable. And I think there's another one somewhere. Yep, this is on the server part of it. Okay, so what have I done here? So we get our line locations, and then we create this sort of cross shape, don't we? Of, like, if you can imagine in the original game, which was in cells, it was like a cross. So 0, 0 in the middle, 0, 1 over here, -1 over here, and then -1 plus 1 in the other direction as well. In this case, the Z direction, because we were using 3D. So for each offset, we create a hit location. That is actually a bit of an issue because AOE, because I think we originally had that in Helrift because that dealt with the AOE, but we're dealing with AOE separately. I think I've actually done this wrong, you know. I think what's a good idea is if we add in the classic. Not got a case for that, have we? Oh, actually, if we don't choose Blizzard mode, it's not going to do this random stuff as well. Yeah, I don't actually think we need any of this because AoE is dealt with separately. Although, yeah, actually, I've got debug here. I'll have a look at it in a minute. Let's just leave it and set it to standard. And we have 8 segments, as we saw in the OG code. I don't think it was. I mean, it's not randomized in the OG because it still looks the same. It all looks like that. But when we do our visuals, I think randomizing is good. Let's add this in and test the damage. So we actually need to register it on our Magic Manager here. And we need to rebuild the server so that it has access to that new spell. Great. I hate when it does this. I don't even change the shaders and it does this every now and then. I think it's because I play with the... I was adding in screen space ambient occlusion to add some nice shadows into the game. But that was part of the forward renderer pass. I don't know why it has to do anything with shaders. That's running. I'm just going to ponder over this issue here. Because I'm pretty sure... Oh wait, hold on. So how many segments is... Oh, so this is client side. Are we spawning more? Maybe we are. It doesn't actually spawn 7 or 8 shards. It hits 7 or 8 times, but it's spawning 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by 7. I don't. Doesn't seem right. And I wrote the damn code. But let's see. How are we doing? Taking the mic. Let's relax a little bit while this does its magic. Yeah, it definitely seems to spawn one blizzard shard for each line hit or new hit location, which is which means it does 7 by 5, which is a lot more than I thought. Oh, hold up. Does it spawn multiple per hit location? Maybe it doesn't just spawn 7. It does do 35, but I can't even remember, and I wish this would hurry up. What if I have a look at my video here? Is it? Yeah, it is 35. So for each hit location, it actually drops multiple. I didn't realise that. I don't think I don't think ESW does that as well, to be honest. Let's have a look at here we go, get point. So so at what point on Blizzard does that happen? Because hi Jacko, how's it going? Ah, no, this is where it happens. Right, right, right. Yeah. So if we have a trial and it's going to spawn another shard. Yeah, so it is happening here. Just the way that I've coded it is really bad. I mean, you know, is what it is. Oh, here's my Strike of the Ghosts. Wow, love that spell. How are we doing? Are we up and running yet? We are not. Just going to load the game manually. In fact, I can load it manually without waiting for Visual Studio because, oh, sorry, for Unity. Because we only added a spell. Yeah, I mean, I could dual stream, I guess. I used to stream many years ago games. I used to do like League of Legends and RimWorld and things like that. Um, I found Twitch has become a bit of a, I don't know how to describe it really. It's become a bit of a cesspit, to be honest. There's a lot of stuff on there I don't really agree with. Yeah, sometimes I open up the homepage and there's a lot of dodgy stuff just on the homepage, and I think, is this a site for gamers? Like, yeah. But you know, I don't really mind it as long as I don't have to deal with Twitch, I guess. I think to be honest, the biggest issue with Twitch is the sheer amount of ads. Like I used to like watching like LOL Tyler 1, for example. Like watching his League of Legends. I didn't, even though I stopped playing League of Legends, I just liked his stream. I used to go in there. Now you go in there and you get 32 ads, and you think, are you having a laugh? 32 ads. So now I just watch him on YouTube. Yeah, I'll consider it for next week, Jacko. Thanks. Yeah, I'll have a think about it. To be honest, streaming isn't a big part of this project. I just want to give people an opportunity to come in and talk and ask questions. A bit of engagement for you guys. We really gonna have this problem? Let's just check something. I think something might be hanging somewhere. No, it did log me in eventually. But there are some background tasks going on here that probably what's hanging the Unity. Yeah, I want to capture that same sort of vibe as Helrift World, to be honest. That's the aim here. Oh, there we go. We've got control back. Right, let's try and get in the game now. I'll just leave that, that's fine. I wonder why it's struggling to connect to the server. Maybe it's just this. Yeah, I hope you guys are gonna like it. I'm doing it for the community. No, I wanted to make my own game for a long time, and being part of the Helrift community sort of drove me to choose this as my first major project. Because I loved the game back in the day, you know, just like you guys. Yeah, something's really struggling at the moment. I think it's because Unity's losing its goddamn mind. It's just like the server clients all hanging. It's really just something is killing it. I think I'll just wait. Yeah, I mean I'm back now, but for how long? Yeah, as soon as I go to cast a spell. I was hoping for the best then, but yeah, how strange is that? Anyway, I wanted to see this. So it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, I haven't got the new configs yet, but we get 35. Or 40 with 8, but I think with Earth Shockwave it doesn't do that. Really need to watch a video, really. Oh, this has got the old tabs. So I've got them on the left now. Yeah, there's lots of things missing in this build. Should really turn this down because it's interfering. Okay. Oh, we've got repair in this build. That's good. Thank you. It's like every time it tries to load a new shader, I think that's what's doing it. Probably because it's compiling shaders and stuff there. Alright, so we've got the hero shop here as well, that's good. But have we got the fixed lighting? I doubt it. Should it hang again? Yeah, no, see where the lighting went dark there. There's no fixed lighting on this build. And the NPC issue as well as on this build. There we go with the shader issue again. Maybe this is slowing down the shader build, but what does it like now? Oh, let's just get rid of this because it's probably slowing everything down. Come on, you see you can do it. Well, this is very boring. Probably should have done this last time. I changed the graphics settings, but I've got 20 minutes to build all this. I think I'll go and make a tea while I wait. I'm not saying I could read some pages from the Lord of the Rings if you like. I do the voices and everything with my kids. From Helrift to audiobooks, is there anything this man can't do? Get a job? And have you seen the state of my heart? It tried to kill me last year. Alright, here we go. We're here. It's finally built all of the shaders. Let's go. Let's check this Earth Shockwave. We haven't done the visuals on Earth Shockwave yet. We've spent the last 20 minutes waiting for shaders to compile. What? Last time I checked, I had 3 characters. What the hell happened there? Where's my other character? Well, that's not good. I didn't accidentally click delete character, did I? When I was when it was hanging. Maybe that's what happened. Oh god, now PlayFab's having a nightmare. What is going on today, guys? It's a Microsoft. I don't want to sign up, I just want to log in. Microsoft strikes again. I might have accidentally deleted the character because there's no confirmation box on that button. When it was hanging earlier, when the shaders are compiling. Ah, I am so stupid. Okay, I'll just create it again, I guess. It's a female. Don't really matter what hair we have, is it? Give her a Karen haircut or something. I don't know. I don't think this really matters, does it? Make a ginger. Fortune. I name all my characters after characters from Metal Gear Solid 2. Vamp, Fortune, etc. Oh, I still have this thing where I have to relog, right? Okay, well, this is turning into a bit of a disaster, isn't it? Characters are not getting created. Accidentally deleting characters. There is another reason. We have some settings somewhere. Where are they? Content, title data, character name registry. It might be stuck in here somewhere. No. Another one to debug, I guess. We're just going to have to change one of these characters to a mage. Okay. Bigger screen. Here we go. Let's reset. Is it reset stats? No. No, I'll just set level on 40. Okay. So that's just an admin command that can... Huh, that's interesting. I can't even unequip the items because I'm not high enough level. But it's an admin command, so I'm not really that concerned about it. Let's get all of our stats back up. We need to do 200 intelligence for ESW. Get some of that. Make sure we can get enough stamina. Some of that and some of that. Right, I'm going to relog just for it to re-equip me because I can't actually unequip the items because I haven't got the strength to. And we'll get robe and just hat. And we'll get a clonus wand. Yeah. Oh, I didn't actually have any space for that. Let's drop that. Okay, here we go. Ah, I'd never tried the hero leggings with a robe. There's a little bit of clipping, but actually doesn't look too bad. Hey Vamp, do you have in mind some date for launch the game? Yeah, so we're currently in the process of getting the game on Steam, and it's recommended for it to be on Steam for at least 2 weeks. So we've been trying to get it on Steam the past few days, so it'll definitely go up this week. Once it's up there, you can go on and wishlist it, and then you'll be notified when it's available. So basically, at least 2 weeks from now, although it really depends because there's a lot of things I want to get in for early access and the open beta. So there could be delays. I'm only a solo developer. I can't promise anything. I mean, I've spent the past 2 days trying to fix this lighting issue that I had, and it's so minor to the player, but it's just one of those annoying things I want fixed. So yeah, minimum of 2 weeks. Minimum of 2 weeks, but it could go March 1st. I'm thinking March 1st is probably when it's going to be ready, and it gives me enough time to polish it and make sure it's semi-perfect for you guys. I did want it earlier, but as I'm going through this process, I'm learning a lot more, and I'm realizing there's a lot more to it to getting this stuff published and ready. and fit for purpose, I guess. Let's... Oh no, I've got no space. I'll just cast a spell. Right, so now we've got 7, so that's going to cast 35 in total. Cool. On the game, yeah, I'm working alone. I have some other guys in the community that are helping with various aspects. I've got one guy who is working on the marketing, the socials, answering questions. He's also in the stream today, just answering questions. I've got another guy who's doing our music for us. So this music you're hearing in the background is the music that's in the game. So he's creating various pieces for the towns, like this one, for example, that's playing right now is the Erisden city theme. So this plays in the city. The Elvine theme has its own unique sound as well, and they sound similar to the original game. But we also have exploration pieces, title music, and all that other stuff being made. And then we've also got King has made a bit of a return as well. I roped him into this to help out. He's going to be working on the website, so we've now got our logo, and we're working on some other media pieces, mainly for the Steam page, but he'll be helping with the website stuff as well, making sure we have like wikis, which I think is really important to explain, like game formulas and what items are in the game, helping you with things, because a lot of things that I need to do, like tutorials and stuff, they're not going to be in there straight away. Like showing people how to do farming or how to do wood cutting. I want that immersion in the game. So you go and speak to some sort of master of wood cutting. They tell you how to make an axe and how to go and cut a tree. And the same for PvP elements of the game. They tell you how to PvP. We need to get like dummies back in the game, but all of that, there needs to be like an RPG narrative that helps people with the gameplay in the game. They don't want to exit out and go to a wiki. So yeah, there's just lots of little elements. No, I don't know Spanish. I know one or two words in Spanish. I probably know more Korean than I do Spanish. But I do want to. This is something that I assume that you're going down this route. This questioning of translating everything to Spanish. Yes, I do want it translated to Spanish. I also want it translated to a few other languages. And at some point in the near future, probably not for the open beta, but at some point during early access, I'll probably be reaching out to community members to help with translations and making sure that we've got a version for all players. I know there's a big contingency of Spanish players, especially South Americans who play Helrift still. I know there's a lot over in Southeast and East Asia that play Olympia as well. So yeah, I can translate a few things in some languages, but I won't be able to translate everything in Spanish, no. Right, Earth Shockwave. Yeah. Yeah, it's Helrift has quite simple text. A lot of it is, I'd say, the more complicated bit is going through all of the UI and change, like the word inventory up here needs to be changed. All the words that appear when you hover over an item need to be changed. However, I am going to be introducing quests and the ability to interact with NPCs and stuff to get some lore and backstory. So that will all need to be translated. No, so we're actually working on ESW today. So, I mean, Earth Shockwave at the moment visually, on the server it works, but visually I haven't done the visual design yet. That's what I'm working on next. So we can see over here, I was looking earlier at the ESW sprite effect from the original game. So it'll be something like some sort of 3D rock that comes out the ground, just goes up and down, and then some like gravel or ground breaking effects. But yeah, by the end of tonight, maybe spilling in tomorrow, I'll have it done. I've had a few technical issues with Unity today, and it's already 11 p.m. So let's have a look at the visual aspect of it. So for a linear spell, it's a projectile. So this works. Funnily enough, it works a bit like the battle staves or archeries, like arrows from a bow. A projectile has a start position and a target position, which actually doesn't work very well for ESW because it goes up and then down. So yeah, I'm going to need some sort of it's going to have to sort of go up. It's going to have to come up and back down and look natural. So we're going to need a new linear spawn mode that deals with that, because this isn't fit for purpose. This actually only works for projectiles that have a start and end, like the shards. So let's bring this into here. Actually, what we can do is just, so this is for Blizzard and for Standard, because this bit is dealing with additional drop positions, and as I've put here, I'm not sure how to refactor this, kind of, because it's very specific to Blizzard. I'm just going to leave it there for now. Let's break that, and we're going to create a new spawn mode called Earth Shockwave. And we can't use projectile, so we're going to have something that travels. And then comes back again. What was it called? That sort of effect. Sorry, 1 second. Just like projectile. arc. It's like an arc, right? Maybe we call it arc. Where is this stored? Where is projectile stored? Oh, just in scripts. It's never been moved. Okay. Let's call this just arc projectile for lack of a better word for now. And yeah, we need a speed. I think we need to set a height. 2F or something. It's fine. I mean, we could define that when we spawn this thing. Face target. Do we need that? Probably not. Yeah, this face target thing is. Right, I see. So face target, I think actually face target is used for things like arrows, because the forward vector should be always looking at the target. I think that's why I did that. Same for like the battle staffs that have a trail behind them. They should always be facing the direction that you actually shoot, whereas something like the blizzard shards, they have a random rotation. So I don't think we're going to need this. I don't think it's relevant. So okay, let's get rid of this. Delay. Why do I do that? Oh, because it hangs. Oh, because yeah. So the shards hang for a few seconds in the air before it triggers the projectile movement. That's fine. So this is where the complex bit gets. We need some sort of calculation here that will arc the projectile. Target position. Oh, sorry, covering you guys up. Right, so generate impulse is going to deal with our acceleration, so we can keep that. The explosion. Oh, hold on. This is the update. The impulse of the explosion. We'll worry about that later, because we haven't actually got any visual stuff yet. So I think what we need here is we need to figure out target position. I think. Yes, we've got target position, but we don't want to use this. We are still lerping from start to target, where target is what the height. Oh, let's just keep it separately for now. So let's just call this the horizontal position. So this is the current horizontal position at this frame, and we need to get the height. We need to calculate the height. So we could do something like what's parabolic formula? What's the parabolic? Because that'd be parabolic is what you use for like throwing grenades and stuff, right? Y equals a x minus h squared. A equals h. So our height by so it's times the midpoint. Midpoint is 4 by the time. And then it was x minus height. X being 1 because it's normalized value minus the current height, I think. Anyone in here good at maths? Maybe, possibly, I don't know. And then, yeah, just set the transform dot position 3, and then we've got a horizontal position dot x. We want the original position, right? Start position plus the arc height that we just, which is probably completely wrong, but we'll see what happens. Then the horizontal, yeah. And then explosion prefab, which we haven't done. Now we can actually test this using the just using the shards, to be honest. Then we can make the 3D model after. Let's just go back to linear spell. Let's go to here. And we can do the same for each hit location in hit locations. Spawn location is actually going to be the location the same, right? Segment objects. Again, this is the same. At the spawn location, that doesn't matter. And this is where it diverges a bit. And we're going to have arc projectile. So actually we do need to create a new prefab for that, but whatever. Now what I could do is create an interface or an abstract class for different types of projectiles for these segments and make this a lot cleaner. Do we want to randomize? We probably don't, to be honest. So I think we just edit yield return inside the loop, right? Yeah. Because the segment spawn delay is, there's a delay between each one spawning. Is it spawning in the right location, the right timing though. I'll have to double check that. I think it goes from, for Blizzard, I think it's the furthest to the start. Ugh, tired. Is it gonna save or no? Oh, yeah, it's saving. Let's see how wrong I got this calculation. Oh. We need to set this as Earth Shockwave linear type. And Earth, Earth shock. Let's call it an Earth shock. This is supposed to be an arc projectile. 20 height is 2. That's fine. We won't have an explosion prefab. We'll make that later. Might help if I actually remember to update this spell. A shockwave. Earth shock. Okay. Spawn. Oh, so it's going up, right? Yeah, it goes up and down. Yeah, that works. So this has got to be 0. Health. Invalid position infinity. Okay, it doesn't work. I've got a problem with my calculation. Arc projectile unit. So look at this calculation again. Height by peak by time. Travel time. Let's double check that we have these variables set. Oh, they're private variables. Travel time is distance divided speed. So as long as we've got distance and speed, that's fine. Speed of 10. Distance is the start position. Or the distance is the difference between the start position and the target position. And the target position is set by this. Hit location. That's correct. And then, so the arc height, T is correct. Strangely enough, I didn't have that problem before I changed the offset, did I? Or I did, I just didn't notice. Yeah. Let's lower the speed like that. So I can see what's going on here. What is going on here? So that motion is correct. This is annoying me. Go away. That's how it should work. That's correct. I'm just gonna go and get my tea, which I started about an hour ago. 1 second. Okay. I am back. So let's try and figure this out. So now we have that parabolic effect. It just jumps up and down again. Now for some reason, if I put that into the ground at y0, we get an infinity error. If I put it slightly higher, I think because it's touching the ground, I think that's how this works. Oh, T is 1F. T has to come back down to 0, I think. Oh no, so T, so this 0.5, 0.5, that is the max arc height. So this technically should be correct. But I suppose this target position is a bit of an issue, because the target position and the start position are practically the same, I'd say. Yeah, from 0 to 0.1. 0 to 0.1 is what we said. Yeah, so between 0 and 0.1. Yeah, just disappear straight away. So we can't use target position. We can't actually use T, weirdly enough. So what we could probably do here is, if the transform position is back to the start position as it comes down from the parabolic arc, so I mean, in Unity, I really don't like doing this, to be honest, but the way you would do it is, say with the transform position is within point. It needs to be smaller. It's so horrible. But actually, we do need to keep the T bigger than 1F, because that assumes that it's hit its target position. I don't know if that gives enough leeway. We'll see. Let's just test it. Did I stream in Spain? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think this gives enough. Doesn't give enough distance. How else can we do this? Because the problem is, as soon as it spawns, this is going to get triggered. I mean, we could store, like, has peaked. We'd have to store this here, I guess. So it has peaked, it's going to be where so if it hasn't peaked and T is equal to 0.5F, so it has peaked to true. If has peaked and that or that, then do that. That might be a solution. Because it basically, from the source and the destination are the same. Like we got the source here, and it's going to peak on the arc and then come back down again. We need to know if it's peaked before starting any checks against the source and target destination. This is so much easier in 2D. All you gotta do is pop up a sprite and back down again. No, it doesn't really want to play ball, does it? Chad's GPT. No, it's not. I think the arc maths is correct. I think this is correct because I can see it doing that arc. The problem is doing the check. Although I suppose it might be easier. I'm just going to try something. I mean, this works for the destroy command, but it doesn't work for explosion because we need the explosion to happen after a certain amount of time. If we even have an explosion, actually. But let's just set it to 2 seconds and see how it looks. Don't like that speed. Because it's off the ground, it looks like... Oh, actually, I can change that. Right. Now that we've got a... Wait, what? Really? Why is it just disappearing as soon as it's spawned? How odd. Yeah, so that kind of works. We still have this issue. I keep losing my... There we go. still have this issue for some reason where the offset is so low, they just disappear. Why is that? Because the whole point is it emerges from the ground. Ah, I wonder if the speed is being determined by the offset amount. That could be why. Our target position is what? Target position is the hit location plus the offset. And the spawn location is source of. Yeah, of course. I've been changing the wrong thing. Source offset is 0, but the target offset would be the same as the height, I guess. Yeah. Okay, so let's speed this up then. So like 5. 8. Yeah, so obviously they're shards at the moment, but you can imagine if there are rocks sort of coming up. Now there is something else that was on the original game where on the last hit or the last effective Earth Shockwave, it spawned a bunch of additional ones. I can't see that in here. Oh, it could be this actually. Oh, interesting. So this, very similar to Blizzard, this creates 2 additional. So like we had our X for Blizzard, this looks like it creates 2 right next to the original frame that spawns it. So Blizzard, Trail. Minus 15 and minus 10. So those are pixel coordinates, which 32 by 32 is approximately 1. So it's about 0.5 in my units. So add some randomness in 2 directions. Which I think what we can do, we can use that alongside maybe having different rocks so it doesn't look all the same. Because in the original design, it's just the same. Yeah, each one, it looks very samey. So, okay. Well, we can, just as a test actually, we do have some rock prefabs. think it's under map. Rock. Yeah, it'd be something like this, I guess. Yeah. I mean, it's not pretty at the moment, but we'll get there. I think what a good thing might be to do is to set the offset to below ground. Oh, below ground, like this. Or -1 maybe. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, obviously the rocks are a bit crap at the moment, but, you know, you get the idea. Prefabs. I mean, you could use multiple, really. But anyway, let's not worry about the visuals. I want to speed this up a bit more. Just trying to think about how it looks in my head. Weirdly, the original doesn't actually look like it's something that moves. It looks like it scales. Would have been a much simpler animation. Just scale it up, double it, and then reduce it back down again. I kind of like rocks coming out, though. I mean, we could do a combination. We could scale it as well, maybe. So as it's arcing, it should scale. Can I just do like that? So we're going to go from 0 to 1. Scale up to 4 times the position vector. Something like that. I don't know. This is some trial and error. Let's see what happens. Might get a nice effect out of it. Oh, no colliders. That could cause all sorts of issues. Okay. Well, they scaled to infinity, so that's funny. Oh. Yeah, what am I doing? It's done. Should be. We're just gonna have to set a new vector each time. Okay. You know what? Let's just scale the Y to see what happens. Might look very stretched, but that's how they did it in the original. It doesn't actually look that good, to be honest. God, this is taking way longer than I thought it would. Don't like it. I think we should scale all of them. But also, if t is less than 0.5, but if it's above 0.5, I'll go back the other way, maybe. Definitely need it to look more like a mud though, and not like a rock. Ah, it's the wrong character. Oh, pow. Is that because I am bad at maths? I think it is. It'll be 4 times 1 minus t to go back the other way. I'm going to go with no, but let's see what happens. Yeah, I mean, the effect's really bad, to be honest. Yeah, interesting experiment, but I don't think that'll work. I think keeping the scale as a large number for smaller meshes works fine. What could be good actually is to have maybe a randomized set of meshes that we can load. Let's try it. Call that mesh prefabs. We probably need to spawn it in init because we do have a delay here. We may want to have it hanging around for a second. Mesh prefabs, layer. Did I write layer? Length. It instantiates hash prefabs random index. At transform.position. We want this to be parent ideally. Okay. Yeah, so if I have like 5 different rocks there, it'll just select a random one, instantiate it, parent it as if it's already on here like this one. Let's put in some that kind of look like vertical rocks like that. Let's see what happens. Let's see how it looks. I think ultimately I'll be making new 3D models for this anyway. Oh, he's running out of mana. Yeah. I mean, okay, it's kind of... Yeah. Yeah, not sure really how this should look. Different ways to approach it. Definitely I can't use these rocks. It needs to be more like mud, like this. We also need to deal with this issue where it should be spawning additional shockwave segments. So if we just go back to the original code, we get our point. That's fine, and then we create. So this is per frame. Every frame we create 2 versions. Which are offset slightly. So if we go over to our linear spills, there is something we need to do here, which is similar to this. So I think I said the offset's about 15. So our offset vectors are going to be X and Y. Oh wait, maximum dice rolls 30. Minus 15, 20 minus 10 is 10. So it's 15 and 10, right? And then minus 15 and minus... No, yeah, so it's about half. So our offset vectors are going to be point... So we've got original position, 0.5. These seem to be happening at the same time. I don't know what 10 would be. 10 out of 32 is like 0.35 or something. And the same the other way, so 0.35 and 5.5f. X plus X. Oh, these aren't fixed though. Oh, this is awful. They're not fixed, they're actually randomized. I mean, we could go to something like this and have more hit locations. We could make the visual bit better. I'm not really sure. See what we can make happen here. This is. Oh, so we do some group. Yeah, that's right. We do grouping on the blizzard. Don't technically need to do a blizzard. Do a grouping on here. I don't think. Or do we? No, we want to do it in order of spawn. So we're not going to do a randomization here. We're going to add this at the bottom, but ultimately we want to just add the hit location. Although actually we might want to group it because we want to make sure that they're not just added to the bottom, otherwise they're just going to randomly pop up. This is difficult. Hard to visualize this easily. But we don't want to shuffle it. We're not going to shuffle the groups, but we are going to group them to ensure that we add the groups from source to destination, because linear spell should cast outwards from the character. Let's see what happens. See what effect we get if we do this. Yeah, not sure about that. Why are they jumping up like that? Jumping up in groups for some. For each hit location. We're not randomizing the groups, so why would it jump up like that? Could it be that we're checking the offsets first before we do? Because ideally, the offsets based on hit location, not the other way around. Whereas Blizzard, each hit location, we want all the offsets to load and then alternate. I think that's why. That's better. So it goes in the right order now. Obviously, it's very slow. You could probably speed that up. Could lower the spawn delay. Now, the last segment, or the last hit location, we also want it to spawn a few more. So we could do something like if hit location equals the last of these, we could add more hit locations that are randomized. So we could add something like you know what, we could actually do random here. We can use the same values, minus 0.5f and 0.5f. Oh, being an idiot. That's 0, and then we do the same again. Some randomness. And, I mean, we can do that as many times as we'd like, really. I think in the OG it's only 2 more times. Let's see what happens. Didn't like that, did it? Is it because I'm inside the enumerator? Maybe I can't do that comparison. I don't know. I think this is the last thing we need to do before we start working on the visuals and the nice effects and stuff. Just a very wrong character. Just a very unusual way this spell, how it sort of doesn't seem to be doing anything. Why is that? Let's slow it down. Maybe it is doing it. It's just so quick that I can't actually see it happening. Possibly. Also, could be that the last iterations should be a bit bigger, or maybe they grow over time. Yeah, so we could do something like based on the distance from the player, the scale is higher. We could also randomize these. And also possibly pass in the distance or something. Make the last one scale a bit more than the ones leading up to it, or they scale progressively. Random index. I mean, let's just do this as an example. So we do index 0, index plus plus. We're just going to do something very simple. Segment projectile dot transform at local scale. Let's lerp this. Lerp. We go from scale of say 2 to a scale of 4, based on the index. Divided by the line hit locations that count, I guess. Oops. New scale. Oh, this is very, very rough. I'm just trying to see how things look, how we can improve from the OG as well, with different ways of affecting the mesh, and then we can look at particle effects and stuff to actually really make it pop. An iterative process. To me, or did that make not a blind bit of difference? Is that right? So if the index, if there's 10, it's 5 divided 10, 0.5. Yeah, that's correct. Relate between these two values. Yeah, there's something overriding the scale. Is that what it is? Or is it because we're using local scale? We should be using scale. Well, what I need to do is have these going for a little while and have a look at them. Okay. Yes, they're all set to scale 2. Oh, is that? That might be because these are integers. Possibly. Try and load the right character. Yeah, there we go. So as they progress, they get bigger. I think that's a good way of doing it. Let's put the hang time back down. Yeah, I kind of like that. Maybe reducing the minimum size down to 1, lerp from 1 to 4. I mean, these are values that we could probably put in the config somewhere. That means they start off smaller, and there'll be I think, a better contrast. Yeah. Also reduce this a little bit. Give me some mana. Bang. Could, yeah. Still a bit sad that this seems to be. I mean, the easiest way would just be to add a bunch like this. Because that spawn delay is going to have that. It's going to make them hang a little bit at the end of the animation. I think it seems to do it. It just doesn't, it doesn't hang there like it does in the OG. But there is somewhat of a delay. It's just so unique to Earth Shockwave. I don't like doing it like this, but I mean, the other thing you could do is have a different type of effect spawn on that last hit. Because the problem is when you start, doing things like this to keep the effect going, you're just spawning a bunch of unnecessary stuff. Just for proof of concept, though, I will do this. Can't think of another way of doing it, though. I mean, what you could do, with the explosion effect. We do have an explosion effect at the end of a projectile, and that could spawn a new effect that runs those multiple hits, or an arc projectile. Yeah. So the more we add, the more it sort of hangs around at the end. Cast it myself, it's probably going to kill me. Got an error there because of positioning, not a number. I'm not really sure. I mean, just spawns way too much at the moment. Like, if we watch it in the inspector, there's loads just for that one effect. I need to consult my trusty list here of sounds. Actually, no, I don't. I can see it on here. I believe the sounds play here somewhere. Play sounds. Oh, no sound key. Really? Is there a default sound key? Nope. I didn't really know. Wow, I really didn't add this into my sources here, did I? Let's check the original code. Camera shaking effect. Right, no sound. Oh, here we go. E1. It's gonna play E1. It's gonna be very loud because there's so many of them. But that's a price I'm willing to make. Projectiles, Earth Shock, audio sources E1. Get our audio back. Turn that music down. That. I mean, it is what it is, right? It sounds awful. But that is the sound. No doubt about it. Yeah, so technically you could have an arc projectile spawn another arc projectile. If we slowed it down a bit, so I'm thinking the OG was slightly slower in terms of like how quick it spawned at each segment. Point like that. Way too far, way too slow. Could do something like that maybe. such an expensive. You know what I need? I need a spell book. I need to drop some items though. Get out of here, Jelly. Give item. Spellbook of Earth. I should give me some mana save. Yeah, so something like this I think works. We need to do the visual, like how it actually looks. Try and get it close to this, I guess. Have some particle effects to have it sort of send bits of dust or something flying. There's also this secondary effect. It has some dust particles there. Oh, sorry, dust and debris that I think would be good. Quite simple. We've got a few prefabs like that already, and that would make it pop a little bit more. Don't think there's any others. That's fire and stuff. Well, I forgot about this effect. It's mass heal or something, isn't it? Okay. I think I'm gonna have to call it here though. It's half midnight. This took a lot longer than I wanted it to. I think we're getting closer to an effect that looks half decent. Just needs particle effects and things like that. I'm a bit worried about all the particles that get spawned due to so many projectiles being spawned on that last. This one here. I'll need to think of a way to improve this. Obviously I can put that in a loop, but what I mean is I don't want as that many to spawn, ideally. It's as if I want to slow down the maybe I could do that. I could slow down the time between segments as it gets further away from the player. That could work. But I think I'll have a play with that. I think I need to come off now. Brain's fried. But yeah, I think we've got got a good foundation on Earth Shockwave. Getting it to look good is going to be a challenge. I don't think it really looked good in the original game anyway. Like, if you look at the sprite, it's just it just stretches. It's not very nice. But hey, that's the game we love. So yeah, I'll finish it here. I'll work on it a bit tomorrow, and I'll put up some posts in media with the final, hopefully the final product, and get you guys' opinion on it. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe if you're not already, and join Discord if you're not already. There's way more information there about the game. There's way more media, screenshots, videos, GIFs that I've been creating over time. Lots of stuff to get involved with over there. Yeah, thanks for watching.